Hello, poetry people. Welcome to Poetry Writing. I am Daisha Cunningham, and I'm excited to take this journey with you all. This is going to be an awesome experience, I believe, and I'm hopeful it will be not just for me, but for you as well. What I want to do in this video is prepare you for the class. I want to walk you through the course shell and I want to walk you through the syllabus both. And we'll talk about what to expect, what's ahead of you. I'm also going to have a discussion with you regarding whether or not we make this a open free for all, just get it done at your own pace, or if we only open a week at a time through the 8 weeks. I'm going to be tossing that around in my head. I already have been tossing that around in my head leading up to creating this video. I still haven't quite made up my mind yet. So I'm going to be listening for your voices to see if any of you have thoughts along those lines. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up our course shell and we shall take a look at our course shell. Once we've done that, I will open up the syllabus and we will take a look at the syllabus. Okay, so here we go. Let's do share and let's find this is Google and that's what we want to share. Not that, we want this. So here we are. This is what the course shell shows for you. All right, it's not what it looks like on my side, but this is what our course shell will look like for you when you open it. So you can see underneath the title over here on the left, we have content, calendar, announcements, discussions, gradebook, messages, and groups. So we won't be using the groups feature during this course, so we can disregard that section. We will, however, utilize the other areas. Absolutely. So the very first section is content. This is the page where all your major everything happens. So you want to find your class materials, they're right here under content. Just scroll down the page. So if you scroll down, this is what you see. First of all, you come to welcome, syllabus, and faculty profile. All right, we'll take a look at that here in just a moment. Right below that, week one. In week one, as soon as this course shell opens for you, week one will be available to you. Except that I'm going to open the course a week ahead of time. Don't know if I should do that. We'll think on that. So moving on, you can see below week 2, week 3, week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And currently, as it stands now, I have those all set to open one at a time. But then yesterday I got to thinking about it and I thought, there are going to be some students that want to just tackle this head on. They might have more time to sit and write and read during this week than they will in that week. And so I thought, well, we might go ahead and just open the whole thing. But at the same time, you can look at your course schedule on the syllabus and work ahead, just saving everything in your computer and then uploading it at the appropriate time, which keeps us on discussion thread time schedule. Gonna think on that some more. Some of you are like, why doesn't she already have this figured out? Welcome to the world of me. Anyway, so I'm actually really excited about this. I finished, well, our main textbook, I'm just going to show you right now. Our main textbook is this book. This is How to Read Poetry Like a Professor. I wanted to find something that was relatable to students, that wasn't talking over our heads. So we aren't having like some Dead Poets Society moment where the students start to read that introduction and it's so boring and long and drawn out. And Mr. Keating says, rip it out, because that's probably what I would have done too. I'm much more Mr. Keating-esque. Absolutely. And if you have not seen the movie Dead Poets Society, That's your fake homework. You need to watch that movie. You love poetry? Watch that movie. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's Robin Williams, Dead Poet Society. Highly recommend. So, this is our main text, and you can see, like, as I went through it, I marked it up. So maybe you can't see that, but I've written in this book just about on every page. And lots of really great information in here, easy to follow. Most of it very easy to understand. There are a few parts that bog down for me, just being honest with you. Don't you like that kind of honesty? There were a few parts that bogged down for me, and I was like, what the heck is happening? But um, it is written in such a way that I believe we all can grasp what's being said. And this is by Thomas Foster. He originally wrote How to Read Literature Like a Professor, and he had such wonderful reviews of that work that people were asking him, please write a book like that about poetry. Make poetry more accessible to us. And so he did, and he wrote this book. And I'm so grateful that I found it and I read it prior to our course. Obviously, I'm going to read the work before I have you read it, but I wanted to find a book that would work for us. And after reading reviews and doing some research and doing some study for myself, I found this, and I'm very happy to be bringing this book to you. So, most every week, there will be reading from this book. They'll be reading from all three of our main books, but the second book is one of my favorite things on this planet. This one is Poem Crazy. This is a fantastic, amazing, super duper, just stupendous piece of work. I first found a copy of this years ago. I was, hold on just one moment, we have to pause. Okay, so that wasn't a break for you, but it was a long break for me. So I had to answer my front door and do some stuff. So, anyway, let's keep going. I realized this was not even a break for you. Okay, so Poem Crazy. I first encountered it when years ago, I was teaching adjunct classes for Lindenwood University. I was teaching Comp 1, Comp 2, and Introduction to Literature combination. We called it our communications cluster. And on my way back from there one day, I stopped in at a teacher bookstore because I thought, I'll just see what's in here, right? Just wander around, see what's in here. What teacher doesn't love a teacher store? So I went in and I was looking through the clearance books, and the cover of this book jumped out at me. I mean, obviously, here she is even jumping on the cover. So I was like, well, I have to know what this book is about. And I picked up my first copy for $6 that day. And when I got it home and started reading through it, I couldn't stop reading. And since that time, I have used bits and pieces of this book in most every class I teach. I've used it for Intro to Creative Writing. I've used ideas from it for my composition classes. And now we're going to be using it with the poetry course. I'm so excited to introduce Susan Wooldridge's, that's difficult to say, Susan Wooldridge's Poem Crazy to you. A lot of our poems that we'll be writing this 8-week semester will come directly from this text. With it's all laid out for us. So Poem Crazy, love this book. I'm hoping that you will too. The next book is Write a Poem, Save Your Life by Meredith Heller. Again, this is one I bought several books offline. Just got on Amazon and read through a whole lot of poetry texts and read their reviews and did some research, did some study, and I chose this one. This actually has a foreword in it that's written by Susan Wooldridge, who wrote our Poem Crazy book. So this is Meredith Heller's book, and she very much believes that poetry is essential to life. And she very much believes that if you dive in and you write from those innermost places, that you will save yourself. And I think it's a beautiful concept. I absolutely and heartily approve of her ideas. And so we'll be reading through this as well. Several of our writing assignments will come from these pages. So from Poem Crazy and from Write a Poem, Save Your Life, we'll be drawing our poetry writing pieces. From the How to Read Poetry Like a Professor, we'll be getting a lot of our major ideas. Each week, you will have reading from all three texts, and each week there will be a quiz that comes from these three books. Now, it's a quiz. I put air quotes around it on purpose because really it's a worksheet. So, what you're going to do is, well, hopefully you read them first and then pick them up again as you go through the worksheet. Really, it's called a quiz, but it's open book, right? So, but you only get one attempt at it. I am giving you just one attempt at it because I want you to journey back through what you read in the weekly readings. The questions come in order in the books. So, first is always How to Read Poetry Like a Professor. Second is Poem Crazy. Third is Write a Poem, Save Your Life. Every time. So, every quiz, you start with this one and you work your way through until the reading for that week, the pages are exhausted. And that's where those questions in the quiz stop. So then you'll pick up Poem Crazy and you'll go through just the pages that are in the reading portion of that week's materials, and the questions will be drawn from there. Not as many. Most questions come from here. But then you'll have a few from Poem Crazy, and you'll have a few from Write a Poem, Save Your Life. And that's each week. There are 25 questions in each little quiz. And so you'll find those in these three books in order. They're in order in the books as well. I'm not trying to make this difficult from you. Most of them are the exact wording from the text. I just want you to find them so you can get the right answer in the multiple choice blank. Okay? So it just kind of is a rereading, if you will, right? And so please note that there is one shot at the quiz, and once its due date is passed, it's closed. Please know that. We are in an 8-week course, and so we are at a fast pace. That's the term I want to use. So that could be another reason why I can open this up and let you work ahead at your own pace if you want to, because if you try to open one of these quizzes past the due date, it won't let you. So please keep that in mind as you are going through the material. So these three are our required books for this course. And then I have suggested a book. I have made this optional. I have not put anything in it from the class, but it is beautiful. This is a beautiful book. It is a poem for every day of the year, and it literally is. So actually, let's do this. Let's open up. Today is May the 18th while I'm making this video. May the 18th, Matilda, who told lies and was burned to death, by Hilaire Belloc. The poem is a cautionary verse, one that serves as a playful warning to its readers. It is in many respects a poetic retelling of one of Aesop's fables, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Matilda told such dreadful lies. It made one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her aunt, who, from her earliest youth, had kept a strict regard for truth, attempted to believe Matilda. The effort very nearly killed her, and would have done so had not she discovered this infirmity. For once, toward the close of day, Matilda, grown tired of play, and finding she was left alone, went tiptoe to the telephone, and summoned the immediate aid of London's noble fire brigade. Within an hour the gallant band were pouring in on every hand, from Putney, Hackney Downs, and Bow, With courage high and hearts aglow, they galloped, roared through the town. Matilda's house is burning down! Inspired by British cheers and loud proceeding from the frenzied crowd, they ran their ladders through a score of windows on the ballroom floor and took peculiar pains to souse the pictures up and down the house, until Matilda's aunt succeeded in showing them they were not needed, and even then she had to pay to get the men to go away. It happened that a few weeks later her aunt was off to the theater to see that interesting play, The Second Mrs. Tanqueray. She had refused to take her niece to hear this enchanting piece, a deprivation just and wise to punish her for telling lies. That night a fire did break out. You should have heard Matilda shout. You should have heard her scream and bawl and throw the windows up and call. Throw the windows up and call to people passing in the street, they rapidly increasing heat, encouraging her to obtain their confidence. But all in vain, for every time she shouted fire, they only answered, liar, liar. And therefore, when her aunt returned, Matilda and the house were burned. May 18th. Thank you. So every day there's a new poem. And I thought, what a fun thing for all of us to have. So it's not a required book for the course, but it is a fun book for your desk. So look at this one. This is The Mouse's Tale. This is May the 20th, so I won't read it. But The Mouse's Tale by Lewis Carroll. Isn't that cool? Oh, poetry. So beautiful. We can do so many wonderful things with it. So that is the optional book, and that's really for fun. It's a beautiful book that I found where you can read a poem a day. Keep yourself inspired. So, went over the textbooks. That feels good. All right, so let's take a look here. We're going to go ahead and open up the welcome syllabus and faculty profile. So your copy of the syllabus resides right here, right? And I have it open on my computer, so we will be going to look at that here in just a few moments. Right below it is the faculty profile. If you click on that, you open this up. Ta-da! It's all about me. It's a little bit of a biography, autobiography. Which of those do you write when you're alive? Memoir. Let's go with memoir. It's a memoir, y'all. And so just some information about me if you want to be a little bit more familiar with who this crazy woman is that's making this video. So just some things there, and y'all are like, wow, that's really long. Just read it, it's fun. And then we can go back. Drum roll as we go back. Oh no, I don't want to look at the syllabus. We're going to look at that another time. Check this out. Over here on the left, when you complete an item, it will mark these little circles as complete. Okay, if you've only done half of it, it will only be marked half complete. On my side of things, I also can see what you've done and what you haven't done. Just saying, you probably ought to know that because all of your faculty starting in the fall will be using the Ultra course shell, and Ultra has an entire section for faculty called Analytics. That's not open to students, but it is open to us, and we can see what every student is doing and what they're not doing. So maybe you want to keep that in mind. So if we open this one up, excuse me, this is the people who make me me. These are my people. So I'm just letting you see them, not really telling you who they are. That's hilarious, right? But these are my people, my children. I do have 6 biological children and a stepson. I actually have 2 stepsons that are living, 2 that have gone on. My husband had 4 sons, and 2 are no longer living on the earth. And then down there in the bottom right-hand corner, those are my grandchildren. They are lovely, stupendous, amazing creatures. Love having them as mine. They're my babies. They are my daughter Kennedy's children. Yep, just anyway, these are my people. These are my 2 best friends. This is my husband. Children, lots of children, our children together. So anyway, these are my 3 oldest kids, Keenan, Kennedy, Katie. And then I have Cole, Clayton, and Kobe are my babies. This is my son-in-law Modi, my son-in-law JT, granddaughter Josephine, grandson Caleb. So those are my babies, and this is Joey, and this is Nick. Those are my husband's sons. Anyway, that's just a little bit more about what makes me me, what makes me be a little bit crazy, if you will. So, syllabus attachment, that is from TCC. That's from our admin, all of the things that you need to know about your rights. Also, you want to make sure that you're familiar with the student handbook so you know what your rights are at TCC. Now, I do want to point out that I wrote for you here, it says there is no MLA or APA requirement for this course. No, we're not doing it. This is a poetry course. We're going to be creative. So however you want to turn in your submissions, do it, right? Do it. Whatever format you want to use. As long as I can read them, we're good. So be creative, enjoy yourself. Keep in mind at the end of the course, you will be compiling a portfolio of all of your poems. And so each week, if you're doing something creative with them, it will be fairly easy at the end to compile all of that into one document that you'll be turning in at the end. So very exciting, I think, personally. Looking forward to what you have. So each week, if we open up week 1, each week is laid out the exact same. So first we have readings. So our week 1 readings. And if we open that up, here they are. And of course, I say always read with a pen in your hand. Underline, star things, take notes, ask questions, increase your memory retention by including a pen. Always. And so you'll be reading the course syllabus, read Poem Crazy, pages introduction through page 33, and read Write a Poem, Save Your Life, pages forward through 24. All right. Know how to read poetry like a professor in the first week of class. So we have other readings to be doing. And you'll see that a lot of times I will be referring to Poem Crazy as PC, and I will refer to Write a Poem, Save Your Life as WAPSL. And how to read poetry like a professor will often be referred to as HRP. Okay. So let's close that. And then you will have, see, first week is a little bit different. The first week is a little different than what your regular weeks will look like. In the first week, we are going to create a word pool. And let's just open it up and so you can see what this is talking about. The directions, maybe I haven't, oh no, here, view instructions. There they are. Okay, view instructions. So after reading Poem Crazy, pages 2 through 30, create a word pool, and you'll understand what that means after you've read those pages. Have a notebook, a laptop, a napkin, something you can collect words on. Go for a walk, sit in a busy space, or sit in a quiet space. Listen, watch, collect words, adjectives, nouns, verbs. Let yourself be free to experience your surroundings and capture the wonder around you with words. They don't need to be numbered unless you want them to be. Let yourself be free. Collect at least 100 words. Okay. This is due 6/9/2025 if you are in the summer 2025 cohort or course. I probably will use this video in the future, so don't be confused. Make sure that you understand if I'm saying it's to the current course, but you'll have your own date written in the syllabus if you're a future course. So after all the word pools are turned in, Professor Cunningham, that's me, will collect them and put them all into one document. So I am going to be returning back to you just a huge list of nouns, a huge list of adjectives, and a huge list of verbs. So honestly, it would be helpful, and I didn't put this in the instructions, I probably should. It would be helpful if you could categorize them in your work. That way I can separate them, but if you don't, they won't be separated in the word pool I turn back to you. If you would like them separated, then please do so, because otherwise I'm just going to be tossing back to you. But it would be nice to have them separated. And as a matter of fact, watch this. Let's just do that. Let's go in here and let's add to the directions. Okay. Let's do what's 40 times 3. Trust me, this will go a lot faster than you think it will. Collect at least 120 words, 40-ish in each column. There we go. Okay, I like that. A little bit more specific. Specifics are beneficial for all of us, and we can all function better when we have specifics. So that is done. Now let's go back into student preview. Waiting, waiting. All right. So that's word pool. We're only doing that the one time, and then I will turn those word pools back to you. That way you have a collection of words that some are from you, some are from your classmates, just words that you can, if you're stuck or you need something unique, or we'll talk more about how to use that. But Susan also addresses that in the text of her book, and she will refer back to word pools throughout the entire book. So it's important for us to have one. Now, poetry writing. So each week there's going to be a poetry writing section. So you'll have reading and you'll have poetry writing. That will be the next thing. So, oh, I skipped over the discussion thread for this week. Well, let's talk about that and then we'll get to the poetry writing. So the discussion thread for week 1 is different than what it will be for the other weeks. So I probably ought to show you week 2 as well. But maybe we will, maybe we won't. Anyway, week 1. In week 1's discussion thread. So let's click on it. We'll go ahead and open it up. Say hello to Professor Cunningham and your classmates using this format. Number 1, your name and something unique about you. Now, don't tell me you're not unique. Every one of us is unique. You guys are poets. You're unique, or you want to be a poet. You're unique. Something wildly unique about you. How about the fact that I have 35 pairs of cowboy boots? Anybody else got 35 pairs of cowboy boots? Not exaggerating. I probably have that many hats as well. I chose this hat specifically for this class. So, name something unique about you. Your career goal. What is it that you intend to do once you grow up? I always say, when I grow up, I'm going to, right? I should write a poem. When I grow up. And then I want you to do 2 truths and a lie. That'll be fun. We're going to read mine down here at the bottom. And then your favorite poems, right? What's your favorite? Share your favorite poem or poems with us. And then a picture of you. Now that's optional, but it is most helpful for me as I am getting to know my students. So here we go. Here is the example post. This is my example. Here's how to complete this discussion thread. Number 1, Daisha Cunningham. I have 6 biological children and 2 grandchildren. Number 2, to never retire from being a professor, to keep going until they have to roll me in and give me a microphone so people can hear me and then decide I'm too old. And they decide I'm too old. I can't even read today. No stop, just go. Also, to write my memoir. That will be happening in the next 2 to 3 years. So I have a friend who's a publisher and she does nonfiction writing, and we've already had that discussion. She's just waiting on me to be ready. So that's coming. Number 3, I have over 30 pairs of cowboy boots. I said at 35. It's somewhere between 30 and 35. I just recently gave some away. I speak 3 languages. I have 2 published novels. So 2 of those are true and 1 is a lie. Any guesses? I don't speak 3 languages. In my dreams, I do. I do not speak 3 languages. So I do have 2 published novels. You can put my name into Amazon and that will pull up. Now, it's a long sob story, but I'm not going to tell all that right now. But anyway, just make sure that if you're going to have anything published, that you always read the fine print. Unfortunately, when mine were initially published, I didn't read the fine print. And when that publishing house went out of business, so went with them my edited manuscripts. So I had to start back over, and I couldn't find a publisher that would be willing to publish something that was previously published. And so I self-published the novels that are currently on Amazon. I had to do all my own editing, etc., and so forth, but I'm still proud of them. I am proud of those works. But they're not the professionally edited versions. Always read the fine print. Always, always read the fine print. And then number 4, a favorite poem, Odd by Keenan Wilkinson, my oldest son, my oldest kid. I'll read this to you. Sometimes I'm the scarecrow, 1,000-yard stare over field rows, empty-headed madness, never feeling happiness nor sadness. No thoughts, just static, an eccentric, acting enigmatic, trying to escape the fact that sometimes I'm the Tin Man, rigidly rested, shut all over again, the poster child for complacency, vacant with no vacancy, far from home, and now I see plainly. Sometimes I'm Dorothy, and I miss Kansas horribly. Try clicking your heels together. It's apparent nothing gets better. What nonsense! The wizard is odd, a doddering old sod, hiding behind a curtain he is no god. Take the brick road backward. Sometimes this moves progress forward. Find a different way out, a new relief. Don't get caught in make believe. My boy. And then here is a recent photo of me with some spring 2025 students. All right. So that's what you'll be doing for this first discussion thread. Okay. And that was pretty cool. Check this out. I just noticed this. You can click here to go to the next item. View instructions. All right. So there we are with the word pool. Now, come back down here. The next item is our poetry writing. And so we'll click on that, view instructions. So your instructions come from Poem Crazy. This week, I've actually got the instructions here written out for you, but in future weeks, you will have to go to the pages and read the instructions for yourself. So for it looks like, take an object and think about what it looks like and describe exactly what you see. Look around you. Does your lampshade look like a ballerina's illuminated pink pleated skirt? Not exactly, but it's a start. Let yourself go for the far-fetched and the ridiculous when you make comparisons. If you can find a flower, look inside. What does it look like? Find a painting, abstract or realistic. Choose a detail and stare at it. Focusing on that detail, write, I see, it looks like. I see, it looks like. I see, it looks like. For more practice, list what you see around you and write down what it looks like. The pine tree looks like a torpedo. That folded piece of paper looks like a flattened sail. The curled telephone cord looks like an earthworm. That man's curly hair looks like. The moth's wing looks like. Keep going. 10 lines minimum, no more than 20, please. Understandably, this might become enjoyable, but let's not go less than 10 lines or more than 20. So for further instructions and further understanding, go ahead and get your Poem Crazy book out and read Susan's words there on pages 32, 33. I know that there's some more to the instruction bit there and some examples that I did not include here. So to help yourself fully comprehend what it is that I'm asking you to do, go to those pages and read through exactly what she said. So that will be the first poetry writing project. And then you have the quiz. So if we click on that, start attempt. Dun, dun, dun. Do I want to start the attempt? No, I don't. You will. So it says this quiz, and see, it's in quotes, has one attempt and must be completed by its due date. It will close at that time. If your response to a question is incorrect, the page number for the correct response will show up for you. Take your time, use your books. Yes, it is open book. I have not randomized the questions. They come in order. Truly, these quizzes help ensure that we are reading the materials. enjoy these readings. I did. And so you'll have the same instructions every week. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Eek. Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that. We're going to go back in. Oopsie. It's all good, right? It's all good. Mistakes are fine. I don't mind making them. All right. Over here on the right, you have a list of everybody in our class. So you can click on that, open it up, just let you see who all's in the class. We're kind of small at this point. Hopefully that fills up just a tad more. You have the opportunity right here under Class Collaborate to, I don't know if you guys can create a Collaborate session yourselves. Let's click Join Session, see what happens. I don't even know. You might be able to do a Zoom chat with each other without my involvement. Let's see here. I've never done this before. We don't have permission to access. Wow. You guys, I haven't checked this out before. This is really cool. I don't need all the directions. All right. You're the only one in the room. So while you wait, check out the session menu to take a quick tour of Collaborate. That's really cool. So I could turn on my video. So you guys, if you want to, this is amazing. I did not realize that. So if you decide that you would like to have a video call with somebody else in the class, you guys can set that up yourselves right here. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm blown away. Like, that's amazing. I've never clicked on that before. I didn't know. And I've been using Ultra for a year. So that's really, really cool. I have not listed our course and instruction tools under books and tools. So you're not going to find what you need there. You're just not. So be aware of that. Okay. Now, let's come back over here and let's click on calendar. Calendar is super cool. And why is calendar super cool? Because watch this. We need to get to June. Because check that out. It lists all your due dates for you. That's awesome. So if you're like, what's due this week of class? Well, this doesn't look like very much on the 16th. And that's just because that particular week is closed. But the week that's open, week 1, here's everything that's due from week 1's materials. I'm debating on opening up everything and just letting you guys free for all it, which I don't really have a problem with that. So if we just wanted to look at due dates, let's go to the 9th. So what's due on the 9th? 4 items due. What are they? Well, I'm not sure exactly how to use that one. Go back there, the 9th. It's got 3 little dots. It says 4 items due. And they're due at 11:59 p.m. That's where they are. Ta-da! You have to go to the time that they're due. I like things due at 11:59 p.m. I don't know why. It's just the way I set things. So calendar, if you want to see due dates at a glance, you go to calendar. Announcements. If I have anything interesting to say to you or something random that I think is funny that I feel like would be beneficial to you or something serious that I need to share with you, I will use announcements to do it. Now, once I create an announcement, the next time you log into your course shell, it's going to put the fact that there's an announcement right in your face. And so if you click off of that and don't read the announcement, I'll know. So go ahead, when it puts that in your face, go ahead, click on the announcement, read it. That way you know what's going on, and then you can close out of it and move into other areas. Now, discussions, this is a listing of all of the discussions that are coming at you over the next few weeks. However, I really don't want you to access them here. I want you accessing them under content, because under content is how they're going to be laid out according to weekly materials, right? So that's what makes most sense. I haven't been able to figure out how to not have them all show up here, but they do, and it is what it is. But I want you to access them under content with its week's materials, not here. Unless let's say you need to go back in. Let's say you did your post and now you need to comment on classmates' posts. If you want to get to it quick, maybe you could go into it this way and just kind of catch up on some of the things that you're working on there. The next thing is a grade book. So here's a list of all of our assignments. And as your grades are completed by me, they will begin to post here. Okay. So that's pretty exciting. And again, the only things showing are the things that are open. Once I open everything, there will be quite a few more showing here. Messages. This is a spot where you can send me messages, but you can also communicate with each other. Now, here's what I'm going to say to you, and this is in the syllabus. I prefer that we text. Text is my preferred method of contact. I do not want you to email me. My TCC email is busy. It's very busy, and I have a lot of filters set up. And so chances are strong I might not see your message, or your message might get filtered. And we just want to avoid the chaos of email and use the text number that I have given to you on the syllabus. It is only for students. It's a Google Voice line, and I use it only for students. And so if you have questions, you send me a text message. On my phone, I have the Google Voice app. I don't know why I can't breathe right now. For some reason, I'm having trouble breathing. But I have a Google Voice app right here on my phone. And if it's got a message on it, I know it's a student. And so I will open it up, I will read it, and I will respond. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to respond to you super fast every time, but I guarantee I'll be responding to you faster than most any other professor will. So I've been a college student in my 30s, going back to school after a long time out in the world with 6 children in tow. And I had professors who drug their feet, didn't answer messages, didn't get to grading. Oh, so I know what it is to be frustrated waiting on what you need so that you can do what you need to do to be successful. I'm not going to make you wait on me. Okay, you might have to wait a little bit. Like, what if I'm asleep, right? I'm not going to get back to you right then. And if I'm making dinner, if I'm spending some time with my husband, every day between most days between 5 in the afternoon and about 7:30, I'm busy. And so I won't be responding much during that time. But generally, any other time, if I'm awake and you have a question, I'm going to get back with you because that's important to me. It's just important to me. I've, like I said, I've been a college student who had to wait, and I did not appreciate that. So that is the core shell. I don't think, like I said, we won't be using the groups feature. So there's really not much else there that we need to go over. I will be putting this video that we're watching right now here in the welcome syllabus and faculty profile. It will also say welcome video here so that you know. Let's just do it right now, shall we? Let's just do that right now while I'm talking. We'll open that up. Oh, here we got to click on edit. We're going to welcome video. Okay, inside this folder, you will find the welcome video. Please watch this before you do anything. You will, your syllabus, the faculty profile, and the syllabus attachment are also here. Keep in mind, there is no Okay, so there we go. All right, very good. Awesome sauce. So I can show you quick. We'll just go ahead and open this up. Here's what regular weeks look like. So readings, poetry writing, discussion thread, and quiz. So that's the format for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 weeks of this class, all done the exact same pattern. So one thing I want to point out, let's go ahead and click on discussion thread. Let's take a look-see here at what you'll be doing. So it's the same instructions each week. In this discussion, you will share your week 2 poems. State your favorite and upload a video or audio recording of you reading that favorite selection aloud. It is imperative as writers/poets that we get comfortable reading our work and the work of others out loud, especially with poetry. Poetry, there's an element to it that craves being read out loud and shared. And so we're going to be doing that. And I realize for some of you at the beginning here, at the get-go, you're going to be like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. It's okay. Read through your uncomfortableness. Read through the awkwardness. Wait until you get to see your classmates' work, and then you can hopefully relax a little bit. This is important. Now, you can be in the video or not in the video. I don't care. You can just do an audio recording or you can do a video. I don't care what you turn in. All right. Whatever you turn in, share it in the discussion thread so that we can encounter your poem as you read it. Okay, so that's going to be a part of our discussion thread. So you will share your week 2 poems. In week 2, you will state your favorite and you will upload a video or audio recording. Okay, that's going to be our format. Now, once you've done that, once you've completed your post, comment on a minimum of 3 classmates' posts. Offer encouragement and critique. Always remember that the goal is the betterment of the work. We're not here to put each other down. We're not here to put down each other's work. We are here to offer solid, healthy critique, and we're also here to offer encouragement. So let people know what they've done well, what touched you, right? What particular word choices did you find clever and inspiring, perhaps? And then also, if you come up with maybe a word choice that you feel might really assist the poem instead of the word that's there, offer that. You're being supportive. We all need critique. Every one of us needs critique, and we will be doing that for one another. And it's something that as a writer and as a poet, you need to understand as part of the process. Now, my comp classes and my other creative writing classes, we do a lot of talking about peer review. I hadn't known or thought to add a peer review session or a section into this class, but we'll see how it goes. And if I feel like I need to add that, I will. But so offer encouragement and critique. Always remember that the goal is the betterment of the work. It is never to tear one another down. Another goal is to encounter and enjoy each other's work and to remember you are not alone in your love and enjoyment of poetry and its life-giving force. A great principle to complete peer review is this: do for others what you would have them do for you. It's really that simple. If you want them to give you good critique, then you give good critique. That's how that works. So if you want their help, then be helpful. Amazing how that works. And if you want encouragement, then offer encouragement. If you want to be a friend or have friends, you need to be a friend, right? That's how that works. As you read your poem out loud, feel it. Feel it as you wrote. As you wrote it. That's supposed to say as you wrote it. Let's fix that. Honor the poem. Do not be concerned about what others will think. This poem is from your heart and your soul. Give it aloud what your hidden self expressed in its written words. If you do not know how or where to make a video or audio recording, I use Zoom. I'm using Zoom right now. I start a Zoom session. It's just me. There's nobody here but me. You might hear my bonus son in the other room. He's on the other side of the wall and he's playing video games. And so every now and then his voice is wafting in here. So I'm trying to talk louder than him. But so I'm using Zoom. And once I come to the end, I will just climply, simply click. That's a new word for you. Climply. That means simply click. Climply. Ooh. So you just simply click stop recording. And then it saves to your computer or it saves to the cloud there in Zoom. Either way, you can set that up. And then once it's saved, then you just save it where you want it. You can upload that directly. I upload all of mine to my YouTube channel, and from there I will pop in a YouTube link. That's what I do. So this video that you're watching right now, I'm doing it in Zoom. I will save it to my computer and then I will upload it to YouTube and I will give you the YouTube link as an unlisted video. So only the people that have the link can watch it. And you can do the same. And so if you need help with that, you can reach out to me, send me a text message, and I will do what I can. Maybe we can have a little Zoom session where I show you the ins and outs of how to do that if you need a little assistance. So let's see. At that point, you will have your video or audio, and I'm sure there are many other options for doing this, like recording it on your phone. See, yeah, I didn't even think about that, right? Like you could do a recording on your phone. Why not? We all know how to do that. Just like you would for any social media, whatnot, right? You guys are good at TikTok and things like that, right? So let's just do this for our poetry readings, and then you can upload that video to the Blackpool Core Shell and the discussion thread. That'll work. That works perfectly wonderfully as well. So however it works best for you, and you can upload it. Ta-da! That's what we're doing. I'm super excited. I can't wait. Can't wait to read your poems and to hear your poems. And so, like I said, each week is going to look like that until we get to week 8. Week 8, we have readings, 1 poem, and then our compilation of poems. This is where you will be putting together all of your poems in one big compilation, collection, an anthology of your own work, if you will. And my hope and goal with those of you who give me permission will be then to take all of the poems from the course and compile them into one document. And I will, utilizing KDP through Amazon, I will create for us a little book. And if you give me your address sometime after the close of the semester, I will get those published through KDP on Amazon and I will make those available to you. And I can send you copies if you give me your address there at the end of the class. It's something I like to do for my novel writing class. We do first chapters. We do a anthology of our first chapters. And so at the end of the class in the following weeks, I will create the anthology and then get those to the students. So it's just kind of cool to have your writing in your own hands. And so that's something I like to do for students. And then the final quiz, right? These are just questions. Well, a little different. There are 19 of the questions that come from previous quizzes. And then there are quite a number that are just from the final pages of the Poem Crazy and the Write a Poem, Save Your Life books. So anyway, that's all of that. Now, what I want to do, that takes us out of there. Now, what I want to do is breathe for a moment. Just breathe for a moment. Let me show you what this is. This is from Aldi. I don't know if any of you are Aldi shoppers, but I am. So we have a lot of company that comes to our house, and my husband's really into drinking Topo Chico and Pellegrino. We do a lot of sparkling water, a lot of sparkling mineral water, and it's expensive. But neither one of us drinks soda anymore. After my heart surgery, which I may not have mentioned, I had open heart surgery. So check that out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have a big, beautiful scar all the way down my chest. on June 21st of 2024, I had open heart surgery to replace my mitral valve with the mechanical valve. Had I not had that done, I would not be here today. Wouldn't be making this video. Wouldn't be doing anything. So the soda habit stopped, as well as some of my eating habits came to a crashing halt. And so we have discovered the beauty and the joy of sparkling mineral water. So we drink a lot of LaCroix and those bubbly waters and things of that nature. But you guys, this right here is from Aldi. You get 6 bottles for $4.79. They should pay me for advertising this. So good. So good. And one of my favorite things now is to go out to a restaurant and to order a soda water with lime. So they bring you a soda water and then a little lime, and you just squeeze your lime in there. Oh, so tasty. Anyway, it has nothing to do with poetry class, but that's all right. So I'm going to do a share screen again, and we're going to take a look at our course syllabus. So here we are. This is our syllabus. All right. So there are just some important things here that I want to point out to you. You should always read your course syllabus. Now, my Comp 1 classes, they have to do a quiz over the syllabus because I want to ensure they are reading it. I am not requiring the same of you. You're welcome. But please familiarize yourself with the syllabus. So we, of course, are an online class. We are asynchronous, meaning there's no set time or day. We know that. We begin on June the 2nd and we end on July 25th. Now, again, if you are taking this not in the summer of 2025 semester, then your dates will be different. But while I am recording it, it is for the summer of 2025 section. So if you're a future student, you'll want to take a look at your own syllabus to see what those correct dates are. Contacting your professor. My office is on the West Campus, S142. Now, I will tell you this, summer class, I'm not going to be on campus. I will be at home. I teach some classes at the Metro campus during the summer, but for the rest of the time, I am home. I will not be on West Campus during the summer except to pick up things and make copies and whatnot. But so the number that I want you to use to communicate with me is the one in bold. That is 918-994-2324. And if right now, while I'm saying this, if you will send me a text message and tell me your name and poetry class, then I will know who you are. I do have 3 classes, and so knowing who you are is essential. So you can't just start texting me and not say who you are. So if you will say your name and your whole name, and because it happens that if your name is Daniel, that in all 3 of my classes, there'll be a Daniel. That happens. It's wild, but it happens. So give me your whole name, Daniel Smith, and poetry class. And then I will know which class that you're from and which Daniel you are. I had a class last summer. There were 2 Daniels in the same class. Not even exaggerating. That's why that name popped into my head. So yeah, you're like, wait, you had open heart surgery last summer. That's right, I did. I had open heart surgery on June 21st. Our classes started that earlier that week. So my friend Justin Yates jumped in and took care of my classes for 2 weeks for me. And then the rest of the semester, I taught them from my recliner in my living room. Because, see, I'm a go, go, go kind of person. I don't stop. And so the idea of doing nothing in my weeks of recovery was not even an option. I have to stay busy. So that's what I did. Busy. It's good. Push, push. Anyway, moving on. So here's that information that I already told you that I will respond as quickly as I can. What to expect. This is a reading-centered online poetry course. I won't be doing more video lectures. I probably will create one for the last week just to make sure that everybody understands the wrap-up and has a clear grasp of what is going to be happening if you want to be a part of an anthology. I'll probably do a little bit of a wrap-up there. So This is a reading-centered online poetry course with the text Poem Crazy, How to Read Poetry Like a Professor, and Write a Poem, Save Your Life. These texts are lighthearted yet intensely serious in their earnestness, and they clearly show that poetry is life-giving and life-saving. Each student will write 20 poems, which will be shared and discussed and critiqued in a discussion thread format based on writing prompts in Poem Crazy and Write a Poem, Save Your Life. There will be an occasional video chat from Professor Cunningham, who will participate in the poem writing and discussion threads with the class. The class will conclude with a portfolio collection of student poems, individual and collective, and an optional text is suggested, a poem for every day of the year, edited by Ali Asiri. So my intention is to write the poems too and share my poems as well. That's my intention. Anytime I'm doing a creative writing class, it's always my intention to share and to participate. I will tell you though, summer 2025, I'm teaching 3 classes and taking a class. So it's going to be my intention, but I do not know how heavy the classwork is going to be in the course that I'm taking. So I will discover that as we step forward into the semester. Some things to know, the etiquette that applies to in-person classes, but it also applies to our discussion threads. We want to be respectful to one another in there. Absolutely. Always respectful. Some information about Microsoft Office. If you didn't know, as a student at TCC, you have a student downloads area and you have Microsoft 365, which is available to you at no additional cost while you are a student at TCC. So you can download that to your computer and use it online. I do want all poems to be turned in as Word documents or PDF files. Let's do not use Google Docs because Blackboard and Google Docs do not get along. So you can use Google Docs to do your work, but save it as a PDF or save it as a Word doc and then turn it in. Okay. Viewable work on Blackboard. This is important. When you upload your work on Blackboard, make sure it's viewable. Make sure it is not just a link. If it is just a link, I won't open it. I need to be able to see your work on our course shell. Okay, very important. I will not and do not open file links. So please ensure your work is viewable once you've uploaded it. If I cannot view your paper, if only a file link sits looking at me, I will give it a 0 to catch your attention and ask you to resubmit the work so it can be reviewed. All final drafts will be submitted on Blackboard and run through SafeAssign, a plagiarism and AI checker with no exceptions. When writing, remember, we worry too much about how people will react to our writing. Teach yourself these things. The people who get furious and try to punish me are not my audience. I won't be happy with my work if I try to appeal to the not audience. The not audience will never be satisfied with my attempts to appease them. My actual audience won't enjoy watered down work. Be bold and go there in your writing. Stop worrying about what people think. And you write what's in your heart. You write what's in your soul. You pour it out. Be bold. Yes. Be bold. Peer review, an essential function of creative writing. Much of what we will do in this course is based on peer review. In the discussion threads, you will share your work and critique classmates' work. In these threads, I will offer insights and critiques throughout the week. Though I am working to assist you, the students, to help and support each other more than, let me read that better. Though I am working to assist you, the students, to help and support each other more than I can offer. So my hope is to help you all be the better critiquers and to be able to offer each other what you need more so than I can. We all have eyes that see different things. How exciting. Well, I think it's exciting. So discussion thread notes to remember. Compose your response to a discussion prompt in Word or Docs using a double space format and then copy and paste it into the discussion thread. So write it somewhere else and then copy paste it into the discussion thread. Times New Roman 12-point font is best. Ensure to use paragraph indentions if you need them. Now, that's really for essay writers, and I'm seeing that and I'm feeling like that probably shouldn't be in there, but it's kind of late to change that. So, ensure to not exceed the word count. So, if I've told you 20 lines, don't go over 20 lines. All right. Run the written piece through a grammar check before posting it to discussion thread. Now, we are writing poetry, and so poetry often just decimates the rules of grammar. So just because Grammarly or another grammar checker tells you should change something doesn't mean you should, because punctuation is up to you in poetry. And we'll be learning about that and how to write poetry like a professor. All right. Don't skip this one. It says, save your writing to your computer before copy and pasting it to Blackboard. This helps retain your set format before transferring information to a discussion thread. And then I've given you a link there with some information about peer review. Points will be deducted for see, that's more for essays. Don't worry about that so much. I am going to be, when I'm grading your poems, I'm going to be looking at, did you follow the directions for what I requested? Have you actually given this an effort? Because poetry is so subjective. But if I've asked you to specifically write a sonnet, then it needs to follow the sonnet guidelines. If I've asked you specifically to write a rondeau, then I need it to follow those guidelines, right? So whatever the guidelines are, that's what you'll be following, and I'll be looking at that format. Perhaps I might make some suggestions. We are really here to help each other be our best, right? To be able to express ourselves the very best that we can. And so grading is very subjective when it comes to poetry. And I just wanted to touch on that briefly because a lot of that wording there, that's specifically for my composition courses. Regarding your comments on threads of classmates. So it says 5 classmates here. Depending on the size of our class, I may have you do the whole class. I may have you do 3 people. You just need to make sure you read each discussion thread and do what it says. So read at least 5 classmates' posts and respond to each. If this is not done, the assignment will not submit for grading. Be thorough in reading. Offer at least 1 critique and 1 encouragement. Okay, you will lose points if your response is, it was good, without a critique. Remember, success in creative writing hinges on peer review. We need each other as others see things in your writing that you cannot see. Be as honest with others as you want them to be honest with you. Points are deducted for responses that do not contain a minimum of 1 critique and 1 encouragement. So, assessments and teaching methods, video lectures and discussions. Well, the video lecture, this is it. Hey, hi, this is me. And you will have feedback from the professor. You will have interactive group work in those discussion threads and readings from our text and reading quizzes, as well as the poetry writing. Okay, grading policy and feedback. It is my policy to get back to you as quickly as possible. So turnaround on assignments is vital. And my hope is to get those done quickly within the week of when they are posted. Now, like I said, I am teaching 2 other courses and taking a course this summer. So I will be pulling my hair out, but at the same time, loving every minute of it, because this is the kind of chaos that I enjoy. It's chaos with structure, and I like that. I like that inside of it, I can be like, ah, but there's still a structure to it, very much like poetry. So do the work, and an A is not out of your reach. All right. I'm going to just keep kind of scrolling here. You can see the breakdown of our grades. So 20 poems at 25 points a piece. That's going to bring us right up to 500 points. The word pool is 20. The discussion thread, 7 at 20 points, is 140 points. The reading quizzes, 7 at 25 points each, is 175 points. The final exam is 65 points, and the portfolio will be a full 100 points. So that totals 1,000. That's how our grade breaks down. Attendance and participation, again, it's an online class, so we don't really have that. But you want to be making sure you're in the course shell frequently and often, because I will be checking that through the analytics portion. Also, please remember, keep in mind those quizzes will close the day that they are due. No exceptions. I'm not going to reopen that. You know, because I told you it's in the syllabus, it's on the course shell. Quizzes close. It's before every quiz. It says there's one attempt and you cannot do this past the due date. So please keep that in mind. The last day for all work to be turned in the summer 2025 is July the 24th at midnight. Okay. No exceptions. I won't take anything past that time. Academic dishonesty, don't steal somebody else's work. Just don't. We're not going to plagiarize. We're going to write our own. We are not going to use AI. We're going to write our own work. Isn't that the point of being a poet? If you're having AI write your work, then you're not the poet. AI is. And then you're taking credit for it. That makes no sense to me. Zero. Absolutely no sense to me. So write your own work. Let's see what you in your own mind and your own soul come up with. So don't be a pirate. Arr. Now, here is my AI policy. I've written it out. It's crazy that we actually had to, as faculty, start writing out our AI policies. I'm not going to read through it all. It's there for you to read. But I shared some examples of things that I've caught in student essays. So how and when I can tell that AI is writing the work. So you want to perhaps read through that. I'm not going to do that right now. I shouldn't have to. You should just be writing your own work. It's a poetry class. Textbooks, we've already discussed them. Here are some links to them on Amazon if you want to get them that way. All right, my nose is stuffy. I don't understand. Here's a heads up regarding college classes and textbooks. Not this one. I'm already telling you, we're going to heavily be using these books. But never ask if the textbook will be used in a college course. Don't ever ask your professor that. Never, ever, never, 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 never. Not, I mean, unless you like being labeled as that student. I personally don't like that. So for me, I would never. Are we going to use the book? Oh, no. Now maybe I'll ask a student who took the class before me, hey, can I use your book? Or hey, you know, did we use the book at all? Or did you? What's the deal with the book? Never ask the professor. Never. Don't do that. Just trying to help y'all here. Just trying to help you. Just please trust me on that. Okay. Right. Moving forward. Now, what comes here, yeah, these are things that you could read on your own. I only want to talk about things that I need to point out. So, course description of prerequisites, general education statement, institutional learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, course learning outcomes, da, 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 all of that. We'll be doing it all. Now, student support. If at any point in time you have questions and you need help, here's what you do. Now, that just says for technical support, but I'm telling you what, the people at the Student Support Center, they can get you to anywhere you need to be. So send them an email or give them a call, 595-2000. You just get a hold of Student Support and they will get you to whoever you need to talk to. If you need to talk to the registrar's office and you don't know how to contact the registrar's office, you can email Student Support Center at tulsacc.edu and say, how do I contact the registrar's office? And they'll send you that information. You can also call them and they will I'm trying to say, they will connect you directly with that office. So they're fantastic. I contact them for many things and the response is quick. So just letting you know, very important thing for you to know is there. Disabilities resources, if for any reason you need disabilities assistance. I think that actually should say accessibility resources. I think we've changed the terminology, but yeah, it says that a little bit later down. If you had an IEP in high school, it's your responsibility to get it to the accessibilities office. At a college level, it is illegal for any of us to say to you, hey, do you have an IEP? We can't do that. It's illegal. And so it's your responsibility to let us know if you need accommodations. And by us, I don't mean me.
I mean the accessibilities office. And the accessibilities office then will let me know what you need. It has to come directly from them in order for me to make accommodations for students. Now, down here, FERPA. FERPA is important. If you want the school to be able to talk to anyone in your life, you need to have a FERPA form filled out in the registrar's office. Um, if you don't have one, then I can't even admit you're a student at the school. I won't admit if I know you, nothing. So if your parent contacts me, I'm going to be like, and I will forward that email on to my supervisor, and then she will direct it where it needs to go. Because I, as faculty, cannot even admit I know you. We have this thing called the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, which means you, as the student, are protected from everyone. No one, without your permission, can ask for information about you from TCC. So, and I am bound by law not to give information about you unless the FERPA form says you can give this kind of information to my parents. You can give this kind of information to XYZ people. So, but we have to have that form, and I won't know who's on your FERPA form. So that's why if your parents email me, I'm sending it on to my supervisor. She will then send it to where it needs to be. And it takes a while for the word to get back to me whether or not I can answer that message or not. It probably isn't going to happen for a few days. So just let you know, FERPA form, very important. Those are old withdrawal dates there on the syllabus. I did not get that updated. So you need to pay attention to the withdrawal dates. If anything has come up and you are not going to be able to complete the course, then you need to look at what those withdrawal dates are for your semester that you're in. That's for every class, not just this one. Starfish, well-being, skipping through those. We do have TCC wellness services. I don't know if you're aware that we have counseling services available for students at no additional cost. We also have our Y locations where you can go and work out and get all your out that way. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful partnership that we have with the Y here in Tulsa. And so highly recommend that you check that out. And syllabus changes are my prerogative, and if I want to make them, I can, but it will be done in writing through announcements on Blackboard. And the syllabus attachment contains all of that information. So if you want to know about any of those things, the syllabus attachment has that. And then I've got, but wait, there's more. We live in an era where excuses for bad grammar carry little to no weight. Earlier in the syllabus, Grammarly Premium is suggested as a source of help. I don't know if I have that in the syllabus or not. And look at that. I need to change some more wording. You know, I can go through these syllabi and think that I have checked everything, dotted every I, crossed every T, and then I read it out loud. Same is true of all of the work that we do, even our writing poems. Read it out loud. Your ears will catch things that your eyes will never see. It's just a pretty good rule of thumb. All right, so here we go. There are multiple sites where you can check your paper. Here's the tip of the iceberg for you to check out. Find out what works for you and understand that in the era that you are college students in, there is little to no excuse for having bad grammar in an essay. So there's just a few with links to the sites that students have suggested to me. Now, check this out. I do offer a Life Happens Pass once in a semester. Say something comes up and you just can't get your work done. You can turn in the Life Happens Pass. It takes the place of one grade, just one. You can only use it one time, so use it wisely. Now, here we have the course schedule. This is all 8 weeks of the class laid out in black and white at the back of the syllabus for you. And so you can just simply look at this. You can see what the topics are, and you can see what the writings and assignments are and their due dates. I put the due dates in red. So I'm not going to point out what each one is. It's just there for you to read. And that brings us to the end of the syllabus. So my suggestion is to dig into that syllabus and read it for yourself. Very important. So here we are. You ready to get started? I am. I'm looking forward to this experience with you, and I hope that it's going to be valuable for you. I pray that it will be, well,
maybe I shouldn't use that word, but I hope that it will be life-giving. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be an encouragement and a motivation, something exciting that you look forward to working on. And right now, I do think I have come to the conclusion I am going to go ahead and just open up all of the weeks, and you can work through this quick if you would like, or you can stay on pace if you would like. The discussion threads will still need to be done at the appropriate times. Make sure that you're getting those done. I mean, I don't care if you have your post in early and somebody else has their post in early, and if you're commenting on each other, but just make sure that you're not doing things late because that's not fair to anyone else. So get those quizzes done, get those readings done. But yeah, I think I will. I'm going to go in and I'm going to open everything up. So the whole course will be available to you from the get go. Work your way through it at your pace, but do pay attention to those due dates and the fact that you do have to respond to classmates' assignments. And so on the discussion threads, so you might have to come back to those every now and then to make sure you get your 3 done. I think it's either 3, it might be 5, depending on what it is. But yeah, stay on top of that. All right. Well, I am going to sign off. It's been lovely chatting with you. And please text me with any and all questions. I am literally available whenever. So I will respond to you as quickly as I can. That doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily immediate, but sometimes it is. So I don't like students sitting out there with questions. That bothers me because I've been that student sitting out there with questions before, and I don't like that. So, with that being said, it's been lovely. And here's to a great 8 weeks together. All right. See ya.